Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with all of you and make this live. And the idea behind this live was trying to make a less formal conversation and just discuss. I received it in the past, I would say maybe 5 to 10 days, a lot of questions about different things about career and some rationale behind what matters and why I create this series. So my idea here it's just to share with you in a very informal way, what is my thinking about the series and what I really believe it's important for all of us to know. And the first thing I want to start with, and it's a question everybody asks me, it's why the series? Why I decided to create a series about career? And it's not my direct business. And why this? And the idea is all about how we can build, a legacy for young professionals starting to work. It's a very, very challenging time. We are talking, every time I talk and I give presentations, I talk about the volatility we are facing today. We are now in mid-November, and we don't know yet what the election of the U.S. will be, how it will be unfolded. And this is just an example. We don't know. Just this morning, Pfizer announced that they end the studies with the vaccine, but we don't know exactly when things will become normal and if they will become normal. So the idea behind this series, it's to share just some of my thoughts that maybe could be helpful for all of you to understand what is going on. So I took some of the questions here, and I want just to go with you with some of them and trying to answer in the best I can, okay? And of course, you can please feel free to drop your question on the comments, and I will try my best to answer, okay? So these questions I received by email, by social media, so I just put them here so we can go through them and trying to understand. So the first one, it's why did you start this series talking about passion? And not why start with passion? And maybe the way the person that asked it is see that passion is something like cliche, right? Because passion is something that and if we don't touch, we think that there is no value. And why I decided to start with passion, it's because without passion, without a sense of direction, without something inside you driving you to move forward, it's very hard for you to build options. That is the episode 2. It's pretty much impossible to you to find a roadmap, because a roadmap to where, right? Imagine that you are in a crossroad and you don't know if you should take left or right. And then at the same time, you don't know where you want to go. So this is why everything starts with passion. And I decided to create this. This first episode, it's not, I would say, very tangible, but it's to start a conversation. On episode 2, I will talk more about how do you build options and how you can create alternatives to your career and which are the key factors that will help you to become, I would say, with more doors for you to get in. The third one, it's, I would say, the more project management like. I will build with you a plan. And I will use the same thing I do in my own life. I do the same. So I will build that and I'll say, we'll take a post-its and I will start and guide you through that process. And then on the fourth episode, I will talk about other aspects. But why starting with that? Because if you don't know, and if you're listening to me now and you don't know what is your driver, it's pretty much impossible to find the other options, because it will not be easy, and this is why we started with passion. The second question I received, and then this is a quite polemic one, and I love. Um, and in an interview for CNBC, a self-made millionaire and New York University professor Scott Galloway said, "Following your passion is bull something. Okay, passion may not bring you a financial success." And the person came to me and say, "What's your opinion on that?" And look, first, I respect very much Professor Scott Galloway. I was with him right there on the first row when he spoke at TED about the four. And what Professor Galloway said is exactly what I'm saying. The only difference is that he framed it that passion is all about making money. And if your passion is making money, oh my friend, then your roadmap is what I can get, where I can get most. And this is not, please, I'm not here to make any judgment of who is right or who is wrong. What is important is you need to know if money, and I said this clearly at the beginning of the episode, if money is what drives your life, go for it. Go for it at full speed. And this is what Professor, and this is a very much his belief, and for me, I have a different view. I respect his view, but I have a different view. I know so many people that are multimillionaires and they are struggling to find a meaning in life. So and this is absolutely a personal. And when I built this episode, I wanted to show this. I'm not here to discuss what you should do. I'm not. I don't have competence, and I don't have any pretension to say, oh, you should do this instead of that. What you need is you need to follow what is important for you. And if money is important for you, as Professor Galloway said about financial success, then go for it. So this is what I think, and I can share with you. I will share on social media this post. But if you put CNBC Scott Galloway, you will see his interview on that. So it's more on the financial focus and connecting success and happiness and fulfillment with making money. Okay. A third question I received is that the series is for young professionals. However, I'm not young anymore. And I work today because I need to. I have no passion, but I cannot leave. What should I do? Uh, this is not an easy. I would love. I'm not putting their names to respect their privacy, but I'm not here. A psychologist to say what should you do, and it's tough. It's tough because when you go through life and with no passion, and when you stuck somewhere in your life that you don't want to be, it's very painful. And one of the key things of this series that what I want most is that people try to not get trapped on that. But what should I do? And if I were you, is that it's never late for you to revisit your values. And I'm not pleased for you if you're listening to what I'm saying. I'm not telling you that you should give up everything and become crazy and forget about. No, we all are responsible people. We all need money to live, and this is life. But I think that you need to challenge yourself and see that there is never too late for you to find your path. There is never, it will be never too late for you to find that. You must be aware of this process, because if you are not aware of this process, you will become trapped into that. So one thing that you will hear on episode 2 is that I talk when I learned English, okay? When I learned English. And I learned it at a very late time. So this is why my English is not the best English that that I may have. But I started with 22 years, and it was very old, I would say. But I started. There is never a late time for you to revisit. So think about that and try to build a plan, and this will be more an episode to build a plan that maybe today you work because you need to, but you don't have passion. But maybe in 2 3 years you can find a path that you can shift and direct your path to where you really want to go. So think about that always when you are working and thinking about your career. But I just want to thank this person to send this, because first you need to be brave, to say that, right? um, the fourth question, it's how to have a passion if you have no access to any of the resources you need to live, like food or water. I agree again. It's that there are some basic principles that it's a survival thing. I didn't build this series thinking uh, on the survival mode. I was thinking about fulfillment, because honestly, if you have a YouTube account, if you have access, if you're able to learn English or means you already did something. I think that for those who are below the level of even thinking about what emotion drives their desires, we are talking about a different thing. We are talking about people that need our support to get into that step. This series was not aiming to that, despite I think it's an incredibly valuable to think about that. But if you don't have the basic things to even start smiling, then it's a bigger challenge. When I was in Haiti, I always remember that after the earthquake, and I saw, young and children. When you see children are happy by nature, right? They play. And when you start seeing children, 4 5 6, with no smile, no bright in their eyes, it's challenging, because they are on the survival mode. They are far more like animals trying to irrational animals trying just to find a way of surviving. So I agree with you that we need to have a minimum step, okay, to try to consider other things. And I agree with that. So you need to have at least these basic aspects for you to try to drive your passion. I just want to see some of the comments here, because I don't know, so I will try to take some of the comments here. So look, this is a comment from YouTube. What's your view on flexibility on achieving your passion? Someone wants to master in X country, but there are some constraints. Yes, you need to have first. You cannot be. There is one thing that is passion to drive you forward, and there is something that is completely out of range. Imagine that my passion is I want to live in Mars. Okay, this is nice to have, but it's with the current technology, with the current constraints, you are setting up for you a target that is virtually impossible, because nobody did that before. So what I can tell is that you need to have some flexibility. And one thing that you are allowing me to say with your question is that your passion may change over time, and this is fair. Something that is important, used to be important for you in the past, may not be important for you today. And it's life. It's life. For example, I need to tell you, going back to Scott Galloway, when I was young, 21, 22, because of my drive, or because the way I was raised, money was a very important factor of my drive. And then when other things in life happens to you change that. So you need to have the flexibility of making some trade-offs in your life. So for example, it's not feasible. For example, you said to me, and I want to give you an example. I'm Brazilian, but I live in Portugal. And it was not easy, as I said on the video. It was not easy, but I worked very hard to create conditions to Portugal to accept me as an immigrant, and then to register. And today I'm a Portuguese citizen. So I created that. I'm not saying that everywhere you will find the same, but what you need to understand, it's my question to you, it's, for example, working in this country. it's physically related to this country, your passion, or you want to do something that this country is an enabler. So this is something that you need to care about and care a lot. Okay. Other people. Okay, there is a LinkedIn user. How I can access my passion? Oh God, this is. I would love. Trust me, I would love to have a checklist that you make a score. If you have 80, you have passion, and if you don't have, it's not like that. But what I can tell you is that when you love something, it becomes visible for you. You put time, you put effort, you put desire, you work up at night trying to do that. It's something that, for example, this series for me, it's so important. You saw on most of my posts I say I love this, this is close to my heart. And look, this is not my business. It's very important that all of, I'm not a career counselor, but this is something to have the ability to influence young people and trying to understand that money is a component of life, but it's not the life. It's important for me. So you can access by doing this. It's like when you fell in love by someone. It's different. Your heart changes. And this is the way you see that. Okay, so there is no assessment clearly to do that. And maybe over time you change your passions. You go from one thing to another. Some of them will last more, but what is very important, it's what drives. For example, one thing I will discuss with you in episode 3 is that if you can close your eyes and open your eyes 5 years from now, what would be the position you want to be in your life, that that you will feel happy, that you'll take a cup of tea, or if you drink, that you take a glass of champagne and you celebrate? What is that? What is that? Maybe for me it's something different than for each of you. So this is how I access that. So let me try. Okay, let me Daniela here. I'm a classical musician and I love what I do. I feel genuinely lucky to be able to make a living from music. But I have found that when your profession is your passion, it can be easy to overwork. Yes, Daniela, I agree completely. And I love your example because I tried to use this. I work with projects. And this is I would say it's not the coolest thing, right? It's not like dancing. It's not like having fun. It's a tough work, and I love what I do because I love the transformation of things. I love to take a piece of paper and get to something, and this is what gives you this extra energy. And it can be in music, it can be painting, and this is what drives you to move forward. Yeah, but thank you for your comment. And I want just to go here on something about the words. Another is passion the same as purpose? And for me, yes. Okay, I'm not here to be an I would say to teach you that passion is different, but purpose, it's something that has a meaning for you, and this is what drives you. For me, maybe there is a meaning on cooking well. For other people, there is a meaning doing different things, and this is what passion is about. So passion for me, it's the same as having a purpose, because some people, and there is an article on Medium talking about that, passion is different than purpose. The passion is, I would say, empty inside. It's just an emotion, and I don't agree. Maybe this on the dictionary, it's the way they explain, but for me, passion, inside, when you open that bottle, there is a sense of purpose. There is a sense that gives meaning to your life, that gives meaning to why you should exist here. Okay, why you should exist here. Um, Another one. You finished the episode talking about options and a roadmap. Can you explain better what having options means to you? Options, it's one of the key aspects I will teach you on the episode 2. It's options is when you have alternatives, career alternatives to move forward. When you have one job and you are trapped into that job and you don't see yourself doing anything else but that, what I'm telling you is you have no option. When you have option is that if you lose your job tomorrow, or if you lose your company tomorrow, if you lose your contract tomorrow, you have option. Maybe they are not as good as the current one, but you have options. You have alternatives to drive, and alternatives are something that you build. And I will explain better about that. But options are like an insurance for your career. It's if one door closed, okay, you have another one. Maybe it's not as good as the first one, but you have something to reach out there. Okay. Another thing. This I think I answered, but you don't work in career counseling. Why did you decide to create something that is not directly on my field of experience? First, I want to give people the chance to hear from someone that has no vested interest. I have no vested interest that you look for career counseling in this. My business is different. And I built that because I felt, as a father of 2 daughters, 16 and 21, I feel responsible for giving, as a father, the best advice I could make. If they will use it, I don't know. But this is something that is very rewarding for me. So if, okay, out of 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people that watch the series, I don't know, if we can impact 1, 2, 3, 5, that's great. It's like other people here on the comments saying, thank you for your PMBOK flow. When I did that, I was not trying to sell anything. I don't even work with PMP, right? I don't work preparing people for certification. But I did that because I felt that this is the right. And this gives me a reason for me to move forward. It gives me the inspiration, gives me the drive to make things happen. And this is why I do, and I'm very happy of doing that. So now let me go quickly here to see. And yeah, so some people are just saying, thank you, and I thank you, all of them. There is this Mario. In the project environment, we have many problems engaging people, allocating resource. What kind of problems, issues could passion help me overcome? Why you have problems engaging people? Because most of the time, when you are moving your project or your direction, you are moving to your direction, your corporate direction, but you don't align with the interest of that people. Why, for example, this, I would say, big techs and this Google, Microsoft, why they are so successful? Of course, there is a piece on the technology they work, but there is a second piece, is that they have such an engagement with their people, with their employees, that drives them the passion, their passion, not only your passion, to move forward. They love what they are doing. And I always remember Daniel Elk, the CEO of Spotify. And this is a perfect example. He did a survey with his team saying about happiness of work, and he got 94% of people happy with the work, 6% not happy. And he said, I have a problem. I still have 6% that I need to work on. And this is exactly what you can drive. So why you don't engage people? Because people have fears. People don't have psychological safety. People feel that the way the project is coming can be a threat for them, because most of the people do not have options. Most of the people do not have options. So if I'm handling a project where the end result is my door, my only door, closing, what I will do, I will naturally stop that and try to work hard making it not to happen. And this is exactly why passion. So you need to create a team. And this is something I tried very hard at my time at the UN, at my time at Brightline, to create a team that is above and beyond just a transaction and a financial transaction. And this is something that brought me happiness and probably brought happiness to many of other people around me. So thanks for your question. Okay. Uh, Okay, there is another one. So I'm reading with you, okay, because these are live now. I want you to give us insight on specific points. Once you have identified your passion, then how you structure yourself to achieve it, your lifestyle changes, how you manage everything, how you address self-procrastination, if any. Rajesh, this is what matters. This is exactly why we have 4 episodes and not one. Now I trigger the one. On the 2, I will talk about 3 key components on how you build options. And episode 3 is all about how you structure yourself to achieve it. Okay? So how you want to go there? What is the best path for you to go there? And this is why, for example, this series is starting now, will go up to the end of December, early January, because between episode 3 and 4, I want to give all of you time, and I will do some live to craft your plan. And I will craft mine because it's exactly the same time I do this for myself in the past, I would say 20 years. So this is exactly how you manage everything, because we are going from something very abstract, that is the passion, to something on episode 2, it's very concrete. Every single post-it will be a project, that will have a cost, an effort, and a benefit. And you will map them and you will say, okay, this one is learn English, I don't know, or this one is travel to somewhere. So then you will start planning that. So during next year, you will be able to track like you track a project in order to do that. So this first episode does not aim to give you the full answer, but the 4 episodes will building on the top of the other to build you this path. Instead of releasing, I would say, 1 hour video that most of people will not watch, I am slicing it in pieces and give you the time for us to discuss that so we can move forward. Okay. So, but thank you. Your question is exactly the point of what I want to do. So there is, look, Garth said this. Ricardo, I believe passion is a habit we love to have. It makes you feel energized to wake up and work on our goals. And then he said, but we cannot forget we need to feel the progress happening to keep energized enough to thrive. How do you keep the energy up after all the great things you already accomplished? And this is exactly how I plan myself. So what I do, I have every end of the year. This is a psychological process for me. Every November, December, and I will do this together with all of you on the 3rd episode. I start thinking, okay, what is important for me in the next 2 or 3 years? What I try to start closing my eyes and thinking, what will make me happy 2 years from now, 3 years? What will be great for me? Then I start breaking down that. Okay, to get there in 2 years, what do I need to get in 1 year, 6 months, 3 months? And then I start breaking down into these post-it notes, into projects, simple projects. It's to do a course, for example. Yeah, I don't want, I'm sharing, but I don't want to disclose with you. I want to learn more and more deep on machine learning and AI. This is something, it's not business, it's something that will make me happy to understand better. So then few of my projects will be do a course on this, do a certification, try to study this, try to explore this area, because this is an area that it's something that is driving me. But if you asked me 10 years ago, I didn't even know that AI exists. So I'm just telling you. So, and I keep, because You have no idea the pleasure I have when I take a pen and I mark an X here saying, done. Oh God, this for me is the best energy, is to get things done, because this is where my background is about. My background is to get things done. And this is what drives. When I don't see progress, then I feel very frustrated. When I don't see things happening, progress happening, I feel very much frustrated. But this is the way you need to find. It's what we call micro rewards. You know, micro rewards. Every single project, for example, when I released episode 1, it was a big win for me. When I met my wife at night, I said, we did it. We did it. We could be able to make it happen, you know, and I'm very happy. And now on episode 2, another celebration, episode 3, and this is exactly how I try to keep. And this, over time, you become used to that, because it's very easy for you to be sad with everything. Very easy. Far easier than to be passionate. But I need to tell you, being sad, being unhappy, will never contribute to your success. Will never. It will just, deteriorate your spirit to move forward. So let me see if there is something. I still have two. I want to keep the time short. But look, Guillermo said the self-awareness is key for looking into your emotions and thoughts, where your passion is rooted. Guillermo, I cannot agree more. One of the key pillars is self-awareness. You need to know where you are good, where you are not good. So self-awareness, if you don't know who you are, or if you have this Dunning-Kruger perception that you think you are better than you really are, or imposter syndrome, that is the opposite, you will be always not fine-tuning to where you want to go. And this, for me, is the worst. Is the worst thing is that you take a journey, and at the end, you arrive somewhere that you didn't want to go. And this is what we are trying with episode 1, to make sure that you go where you want to go. And where I'm going is different from where you are going. And it's a personal decision. If you want to be a chef or a cook, go for it. If you want to open a bank, go for it. And I'm not here to say what is better, but what is wrong is when you go to the wrong way. Okay, on that. So let me see if I have. Okay, Guillermo, let me. So I think I have just two more questions here. So if I'm not, okay, Mario. Okay, what advice would you give to deal with frustration? We don't win everything every day. Okay, we don't win, and you need just to realize that. For me, I'm telling how I do. It's as human being, you sometimes things do not work, and many times things do not work. But it's like, I don't want to use an analogy of a war, but it's like you lost a battle, but the war is not over. You lose here, you get, and every time you lose something, it's a way for you to find ways of moving forward. Find ways, it's something like that. Criticism helps you far more than just compliments, because criticism makes you go back and say, oh God, what I can do differently. So, and frustration, it's hard, and even more now with the young people, because what I did wrong with my daughters, and probably most of you that are parents, we try to protect our kids so much that we try to create a frustration-free environment for them. You try to protect them so much that, they need to be away from frustration. And what happens when frustration comes? Because life is tough, they are not prepared. So right now I'm working very hard on myself and my daughters to make them aware that, for each yes you get, there are so many no's, and you need just to learn how to do that. Okay, so it's a very important, and every single human being handles frustrations in a different way. What is important is that the frustration should not create an opportunity for you to give up. Give up. It's something like, I'm on the wrong way. I'm going nowhere. Okay, so let's just continue doing that. And this is something that you cannot accept, Mario. And one quote I have in my mind from Eleanor Goldratt, the guy that wrote the book called The Goal. And he said, the first thing you need to do when you are in a hole, inside a hole, sorry for my English here, because sometimes it's hard, in a hole, is stop digging. Stop digging. So because sometimes you are frustrated, then you lose your motivation, then you stop moving, then you stop, and then at the end you just get paralyzed and you don't move anywhere. So this is why it's so important for you to think about that. Okay. Venkatesh, how you make work-life balance? Please provide some tips. As I said to you, for me, for example, right now, I have a question for you. Is Ricardo working or is Ricardo living right now at this moment here on this life? It's hard because, for example, for me, this is life. There is no, everything is absolutely connected. And what it's something that I'm trying to share with you on this first episode is that the concept that work and life are two different things. It's something like you work, then you have the money, and then you come here and spend the money living. And then if you find something on the work side that makes you so happy, you don't care if you are here now speaking or talking or having a call or doing something. For me, I'm just living. Okay, so this is how I make work-life balance work. And now we have some triggers that are helping us because we are working at home, most of us. The flexibility around time is changing, and it will change in a permanent way. So what is happening is that we are facing all the challenges and all the adaptation of understanding that work life is the same. Okay, maybe my daughter will come here, and maybe there is a sound of my dog. Okay, it's just life, and there is no this separation and this clear separation. And this is what I believe. Okay, again, I don't want to. If you don't believe that, that's great. You follow your path. But this was the way I could make my life a little bit happier. Okay. Folks, I think I'll take one more because I don't want to spend more. You can invite me. Okay, Yama, you are always invite. Okay, to participate. Everything I'm doing, it's for free. You can go on YouTube, and if you don't like, you just don't like it, and it's easy like that. Okay, so you are more than happy. What we want is more and more people following you on that. Okay. Let me see if there is something else here because I'm trying to quick reading here on that. Okay, so a lot of people saying hello and hello to everybody. Olá a todos os brasileiros. Okay, but my final message to all of you, and I want just to share with you, is that I did this with my heart, okay? And I want you, if you know someone, if you have a loved one that's starting or is changing his or her job in this, give them a chance to watch that. It's a 10-minute video. It will not hurt, but to help people to get some inspiration, because it's not, I'm not trying to make self-help. It's like a journey. It's only 4 episodes. This will not last forever. But I really want people, because at this time, I know many people are losing their jobs. Many people are suffering. Many people are starting, for example, their university in an online environment. It's tough. Or many people finishing college with no perspective of job. So, and this will reduce your passion, and you will become bitter with life. and life is wonderful if you know how to make it happen. So this is exactly why we are doing this journey, and we decided to do it. So thank you very much. Thank you for all joining me on this live. Okay, and we plan to do that once every episode. And next episode, I will invite someone, okay, to share her experience with us here, talking about passion and option. So I will try to take a real case, okay, of someone that overcame that to see what we can learn from that experience. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Be safe and be happy, okay? Take care. Bye-bye. How do you build a successful career? If you are like my daughters, trying to chart out the initial steps in your career in the very challenging times we are living, this video series is for you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Join me on this journey to discover what truly matters. In 4 episodes, we will take a trip to find out how passion, options, a roadmap, and attitude can bring meaning and happiness to what you do. Come and see what I realized to be success and failure during 25 years of professional life, supporting global projects at the United Nations and in the private sector.